You can able to see my screen, Namu? You can able to hear me?
Yes, you are audible. Just waiting for the screen share. Yeah,
Okay, okay,
started.
ma'am. Maybe it'll take a
No, it
minute.
started. You can start.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry, it's a network issue. So I switch off my video. Hello, everyone. So today we are going to see the chapter 21. We are all know Sita Ma strength as a daughter, wife, mother, and queen. Now this chapter is we are going to see different version of Sita Ma. Sita Ma had hidden mission. A mission that every new people knew, a mission that were never celebrated publicity. Yet it's quietly transfer humanity. It was healing hearts, healing society, healing nature, and healing humanity. Before anyone asking help, Sitama already knew pain was approaching. So here it's new morning. Soma noticed something it's unusual because usually Sitama radiating her higher energy, joy, it will be there. But that day she appeared quietly different. So Sitama noticed everything good, perfect. Even Lava and Kusha health was good. They are healthy. And then even the cottage have plenty of food is there. Nothing seemed wrong to Soma. But Sitama repeatedly looking towards the forest. So when Soma asked, Sitama is telling it will reveal itself. So the following next day morning, the tiger came to the cottage and she lied on outside. She's crying continuously. She became frightened. The children became frightened. Soma perhaps she noticed maybe the tiger wounded physically, but Sitama replied, she is wounded in the heart, not in the physical body. She waited 3 days before approaching the tigress. So here, seeing the unseen wounds. So that's why I told Sitama know the pain before we asking the help. When Sitama approached, the friend's tigress gently rested her head in the Sitama lap. Sitama loving stroked her and just stroked her and saved her. She said she knew it was wrong. She neither commanded nor excused the tiger. She simply spoke the truth with compassion. And after that, she told, you go to the forest, now you will be safe. And then Soma asked what happened. Sitama told a hunter killed the tiger's eldest cub. And then Sitama went to kitchen. She started preparing a uh, food for large part. And then while preparing the food, she just repeated her talk, I must have Hanuman with me. So she repeatedly tell the Hanuman appeared in front of the cottage. Soma just look how Hanuman came like that. They both went to the village in the village. So it's a blind griff. The tiger entered nearby a village and killed a little boy. So that's where because the hunter killed the tiger have. So for that revenge, the tiger also killed that little. So Sitama immediately traveled to the grieving family and she comforted the mother and feed her and stayed beside her until finally she slept peacefully because the mother she did not sleep for few days and then she not eaten anything. When the villagers wanted to hunt the tiger, Sitama please stop. Both the sides have suffered. Then the grieving mother stood before the villagers and said, my son came to my dream and said, kill the tiger. So he don't want to do it. So here the cycle of revenge ended and Sitama blessed the mother. In few years, you have blessed with another son, but it not what are the son you lost, it not be placed, but the another son will give the joy and pleasure to you. Like that, she blessed and then she went. Not she went. And then she went meet the villagers, but the villagers chief admitted, explained what all the things happening in the villages. Sitama explained that unnecessary hunting creates fear, and fear eventually become violence. But the chief admitted said the real problem was not the villagers, the people from the cities, from the Ayodhya. So they are hunting the animals not for the survival of eating the food, but for their pleasures. So Sitama realized here the humanity was slowly becoming disconnected from the nature. So that's why it's all happening. So in that thing, Sitama went to meditation. So I will tell that in the last slide because it's so beautiful things what Hanuman said to Soma. So another story, I'm just starting here. So healing through presence. So later, a mother and daughter was brought to Sita Ma because their chariot was attacked by the robbers. So the daughter had been isolated repeatedly. So she was unconscious. Sita Ma immediately prepares lot of herbal medicine and started treating her. She stayed awakened through the night and then chanting lot of mantras and prayers and caring for that little girl. Okay, suddenly Sitama runs outside the from the cottage where she seeing Guruji was preparing to crush the attackers. Sitama suddenly told him to stop it. At that moment, Sitama involving the highest spiritual power. And then later, Soma noticed that the pain of Sitama had healing in the Engerhel. She began appearing. Sitama started that pain into her. Okay, she is suffering now, Lord. And suddenly Rama also Sriram also came and being with Sita. Later, Sriram explained to Soma, Sita has taken upon herself the suffering of another. She started all the pain within her. So he told everything to Soma like that. And then here we all have to know why Sitama came to uh, forest. So ending the age of crush. So the Guruji wanted to crush the attackers, but Sitama told to stop it. This is the end of the time of crush. Later, Sriram explained that in the early ages, the crusher had helped establish justice. That's why the sir told while I am doing in chapter 17 and 18. So sir told no. So you have to explain these things. So that's where the crushers had established justice, but the humanity has changed. Nowadays, the too many crushers are now going through anger rather than wisdom. So the crushes, the people have started suffering. It's not helping their wisdom. So it was time for law, responsibility, and conscience to replace personal revenge. So here the crushes stopped. So later, Shaga, Arundhati and Kayati visited Sita mom because Shaga and Arundhati and Kayati also suffered because of that crush. They thanked her. They explained that many Asian women Shagas had long wished to withdraw the power of crush from the humanity. Now, Sitama had fulfilled that secured purpose. Because of the crush, many people suffered. We all know it, no? So here the protection of vulnerable. Because the girl also suffered because of the crush only, because the generation, because of her father, the crush is affected that young girl. So Sitama speaks with Sri Rama about the younger girl suffer. She says a girl suffer violence through no fault of her own. Yet the society rejects her. It is not a justice, she told. But Sri Ram replies that the dark ages will bring increasing dominance over the woman and nature. The human beings will forget that both deserve and reservance. So nowadays we are seeing no lot of the things happening around us the same thing. So here we have to start doing lot of prayers because the Sri Ram told the inner connection of nature and humanity. Sri Ram explains when Humanity separates itself from nature. It also separates itself from Shakti because the nature and humans always have been respect. Uh, Sri Ram says. So the people begin exploiting the forest, river, animals, and eventually women. So everything becomes disconnected. That's why our Asian peoples are celebrating the river. They are doing lots of pujas and then they are teaching us how to respect the nature, woman, all those things. But nowadays, all those things are come under the ignorance. I'm saying this. So he tells Sita Ma, then future generation must remember that nature is alive, sacred, and it's inseparable from the human life. So here I told you, no, it's a good lovable thing. So the virgin of compassion. So Hanuman and Sitama went to the village. Soma don't know what it's happened there. So Hanuman explained everything. After everything that happened, Hanuman revealed something extraordinary to Soma. So Sitama went to meditation. A subtle form walked beside the Sri Rama. So she told she's sitting in the meditation, how she will eat, all those things she told. But Hanuman said they both went blessings for forests, mountains, rivers, and oceans. They are just blessing every land on the earth. Hanuman said. So Soma said, "How you know? I know. The yesterday night, previous night itself, Sri Rama came. Sri Rama also in the meditation. So they both went and traveling. I can feel the love toward them. So there is not a single place on earth that has been blessed by the footsteps of Rama and Sita. So we all know, no, while during suffering illness of Sita Ma, Rama is with him. So he tells to Soma, the world will never fully know how much Sita Ma has sacrificed to preserve life on the earth. So she sacrificed lot many things because she came from the kingdom to the forest and then she suffered lot and then she's taking care of all the things and then what the people are suffering, she's taking that pain within her. So like that, Sri Rama told to Sitama, and then Sitama smiley and says, "Whatever I have done, it's only a fraction of his undertaken. I am only a reflection of his love for this world. I am seeing both of them love how much they are loving each other, all those things. And this chapter ends quietly without celebration because the true service never seek recognition. So I'm just finished my chapter because it's a everyone if you have started reading the book just enjoy it because whatever I said it's only the few things. It's lot many things in this chapter. And then I'm truly connected. And then one thing I just missed out. The Sitama told to the grief mother. So if she's crying lot, no, the soul will not proceed that other purpose of life. It's stopped in this itself. So it's possible you just share how much love you just give to that soul. It will be really helpful to that soul to be in the next birth and then it will be love and take care that soul. So that's I connected with if you are losing someone, if you are keep on crying instead of sending love to them, the soul will not uh, it not in the good. So if you have just started sending love, no, the soul will be more happy and then it will go for that other birth and then it will be peaceful for that soul. So that's one point I'm missing it and then it's connected to me. And thank you, Neela ma'am. If anything I missed, you just go with it because I'm nervous.
This was something that even I loved. So thank you so much for taking it in the end.
Yeah, ma'am. Because I want their love and then how the Hanuman enjoyed that how they are traveling to the mountains, rivers, all the place, how they are blessed. It's really different kind of while I'm reading it, I got the boomspoke. And
Amazing.
thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone. Yeah, I just stopped this share screening.
Neelam ma'am, can I request you, ma'am, you're on mute. Sorry.
Maybe you over so you can share your screen.
Actually, I don't have any presentation, ma'am. I just wanted to narrate the story. Can you just pull up if you have that cover page of the book?
Sure, sure, I'll do that.
Yeah.
So can we have you on screen so that it's better when you present it?
Yeah, sure,
That
sure.
you can start. I'll just share the cover page.
Okay, yeah. So I have started reading the book again after a long time. This chapter, it's big, huge, and it's been very heavy for me. I'm still like, not able to settle myself, but still I try my best to share whatever I have learned from this chapter. Okay. So this chapter opens with Soma's observation as how the life around Ma Sita changes. A lot of people come to know where Ma Sita is. They all come with all their ailments and comes to visit her. And Ma Sita continues to serve all the people, okay, irrespective of she doesn't show any discrimination among people. She continues to serve them. But it was also taking a toll on her body. And Sri Ram also observes that many people are, coming to her. So he thinks that it is time for her to move to Ayodhya, right? So he also thoughts of like reuniting the family and reveal the kids that who their parents were actually. So he calls his sons and reveals that Ma Sita is the queen of Ayodhya and he being the king of Ayodhya as well. And he thinks that the kids would be surprised, but to his surprise, they were actually prepared and they already know that their parents were the king and queen of Ayodhya. So Shriram asked him, "Why didn't you question us?" Then they both continue to say, "We don't, question the actions of our parents." So that's how it goes. So, although Prabhu Ram speaks of reuniting the family, Ma Sita doesn't see this in the way that he is saying. Okay, she sees that her mission is about to end. Okay, it has come to an end. And this is beautifully shown in the book as a celestial celebration. Okay, one evening she sees that there is a brilliant light that appears in the sky, two lights actually, and she understood that it is that Sage Brigu and Sage Khyati, they have attained liberation. Sage Brigu happens to be her father in one of her lifetimes. Okay, that's when he curses her to get separated from Shiran, and that's how they are like this living their life separately at this moment of time. And knowing she gently prepares that she already knows that she had to departure. Okay, so she gently prepares her kids, and she takes maximum time to spend with them, and she tries to impart all the knowledge, and she prepares them mentally and emotionally as well. So there is a hidden sacrifice which gets revealed over a meal. Okay, Mata expresses that she has one last desire to meet Mahadev, which is Shivji, in her human form. Like, when she's still a human, she want to see through her eyes how Mahadev is. Like, right? So Ma Parvati also knows that she is longing for this. So they both, come one evening and she prepares a very big meal and, a very elaborate, dinner for them. So as they both arrive and Sri Ram also comes there. And while they were having their meal, Parvati Ma reveals to Sri Ram that how Ma Sita had to fight with Yamraj, right? And to save Lakshmana during the great battle, right? And she has to exchange her life. I mean, she has to give some amount of her life in order to save Lakshman, right? So, knowing this, Prabhu Shriram gets, really shocked, and she understood the gravity of it. And he also says that I would also leave along with Sita, Ma Sita. But Mahadev says that his time has not come yet, and he has to prepare his children so that they have to lay the foundation for the new society which is going to come. And Mahadev also shows them who they actually were. They are the Narayan and Narayani, right? And what was happened before and what is to come next. Okay, he shows all of that. And as this was happening, the meal was happening, Soma also learns that Ma Sita is about to depart from Earth, and she gets really emotional and all. But Ma Sita says, "Don't think of tomorrow. You are needed here to take care of love and Kush." Okay, because these kids are not used to that palace and Ayodhya and all that, so they would be needing her very much. And in the very last years, okay, she says goodbye to everything. Like she has a habit of going to forest, all the animals and trees, the places where she has spent time. And her love intensifies so much, with the emotion was so much. And one day it happens that Janak Baba comes to meet her. And she explains Soma that she remembers of a time when she was in Mithila. She goes into very deep meditation and she doesn't almost come to her physical body. And that day she makes a promise to her father that she would not leave this body without his permission. And maybe we feel that, how could a father give a permission for a child to leave the body? But he is someone who could see the past, present, and future. So he has come to fulfill that vow which was taken by her. Okay. And a few weeks later, a big celestial wedding happens, which goes like this. Like all the sages and everyone, they starts to appear to Ma Sita's place. Sage Anasuya, Atri, Arundhati and Vasistha, Khyati and Bhrigu, which were her parents in previous life, Lopamudra and Agastya, everyone. And finally, Mahadev and Parvatima also comes and joins. She was astonished, like why all of them have come now. Like then Parvati Mata tells her that Sri Ram has asked all of them to come to witness the celestial wedding of Sri Ram and Ma Sita. And she wanted Mata to depart with great joy and celebration. And he tells sages to witness the love that Ma Sita has awakened in this creation. It is her love that sustained Vasundharama during the difficult times. And Shri Ram continues to say that she is his guiding star and she is the one who sustained all the universes. And in return, Ma Sita also says that it is his love that sustained this creation. So that's how they complement each other. And the next morning, they both continue to forest to do the meditation. And Ma Sita, she embraces Soma. She holds her tight, and she also calls Hanuma also as they both leave to the forest. And Soma realizes that it is their last meeting, right? So she asks them not to, come along. So they both stay at the hermitage. But Soma, after a little time, she thought of taking nourishment to both Ram and Masita. So she takes a couple of, a basket of fruits and water. And see both of them were sitting in meditation. And Ma Sita slowly opens her eyes and she thanks Soma for all the care that she has given her. And Soma, she retreats from the place and she feels like she should turn one more time. Okay, and she observes that Ma Sita has almost got disappeared. She converted into a light. Okay, and that light actually it grows and it rains like light and it covers all of the earth. And she suddenly goes to Hanuman and Lakshman and tells them that what she has seen. And she was feeling really sad, but Shri Ram comes and consoles her. And over the next few days, Shri Ram also prepares the boys, like he tells the reality of their mother's transformation, and it is time for them to move to the palace. But Soma continues to stay where she has lived. She doesn't want to leave that place. And likewise years pass by and she misses Mata very terribly, that her because her only life purpose was to serve her. and she was missing her, very badly. And Shri Ram shows her that Ma Sita is everywhere, in the light, in the earth, in the soft breeze, okay, that is flowing by. So she can see her everywhere, okay. Um, and yeah, she creates an hut in the same place where Mata has meditated over the years. And Sri Ram tries to bring love and push to the same place every year. They celebrate the anniversary of Mata's transformation. And over the years, as they pass by, she also happened to hold the granddaughters of Ma Sita. That means love and Kush's daughters. As she promised to Ma Sita, she holds their granddaughters as well. And much later, she also learns about the departure of Sri Ram through Hanuman. One day, he went to Sarayu River where he meditates, and he gets dissolved the same way as Mata did. And Mata tells Hanuman that it is still not his time. Okay, he has to stay till the cycle of time finds its completion. So through him, their love could be served to all the humanity and the earth. So and finally, Soma opens her eyes as story comes to an end, and an ascetic will be standing by the door. Okay, because I think the girl Anasuya and her mother and some other people would have gathered around, and she says, "Ki okay, finally that you have come." And he says, Ki, yeah, as you are talking about Ram and Masita, so I couldn't resist, I have to come. I think you understood who that person is, right? So finally, Anasuya and thanks Soma for sharing all the stories of Ram and Sita, for showing all the hospitality through all these days. And it was time for them to leave. But Anasuya was not at all prepared. And she asked her mother to, can we stay for a few more days? But her mother says, no, that is not possible. Then Soma tries to console her and tells her mother that, okay, let the girl stay with me for this night. So she will be prepared to leave with you tomorrow. And meanwhile, Soma prepares a drink for her and tells her that, okay, whatever I'm going to tell you, maybe you will not understand this, but whoever is there inside you will know that this is the truth. And she continues to say that in your past life, you were born in Mithila and you have served the Janak Baba's household. And you and me, we both have served Ma Sita. And your father has forbade you from marrying because he thought that a curse would be there. So he actually forbade you from marrying. But there was a man who liked you very much in the Janak Baba's household. Ma Sita knows of him, and he wanted to marry you. So this man has took birth again in Ayodhya, okay, and your father has decided and chose this man for you to marry. So when she says this, and a sort of feeling settles in Anasuya, and she goes to sleep. In her sleep, Ma Sita and Sri Ram appears, and Ma Sita tells her that whatever has passed, okay, you forget that and start a new life again. So the next morning, Soma asks Anasuya, "So are you ready?" And she feels grateful for all the time she has spent with Soma, and she takes her blessings. So that's how this chapter ends. Thank you so very much.
Awesome, ma'am. That was brilliant. Well explained.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jyotina, you can start.
Yeah. So, good afternoon, everyone. So, I'll have to take a leap over the book again because I have the privilege to start with chapter 1, where I introduced Meenakshi to you all. And then I also got the privilege of introducing Anasuya to you all, the reincarnation of Meenakshi. Now, I'm here for the third time to join all the dots and bring up the essence of the entire book as a closing chapter. So let's take it ahead. So I've got simple pictures today. I haven't put any text because what I wanted is just focus on the pictures and listen to the story. You will get the visualization on its own. This chapter is all about Soma's departure, the last chapter of the untold story of Sita, chapter 23. So, but it's not really about death. It is all about what reminds us when a person leaves this eternal world. Some people leave behind some memories. Some people leave wealth. Some leave teachings. But what Soma leaves is much greater. She leaves awakening. With Soma's departure, Anasuya doesn't simply lose a companion. She actually begins discovering her own self. So I'm going to connect from Meenakshi to Anasuya and again to Mata Sita and her entire life story revolving around. So this is where Anasuya's inner journey begins. Through grief, compassion, remembrance, reflection, she slowly starts connecting many events of her life which never ever had made any sense to her so far. So this chapter actually reminds us that sometimes our greatest teachers continue teaching us even when they are gone from this physical world. So memories do not return, they awaken. We always live in our own old memories, right? So as Anusula travels after Soma's departure, she actually carries herself with a heavy heart, with the forgotten memories they begin to return to her. Not because that someone is telling her, but because her consciousness has matured now. She suddenly remembers while going on the way, she suddenly remembers the smile of Sri Ram. She suddenly remembers his eyes, his kindness. The childhood conversations flash on her memories. Moments that had remained buried for years suddenly become alive. This teaches us a beautiful truth from this chapter that life never hits wisdom from us. Truth reveals itself only when we become ready to receive it. Spiritual growth is not about collecting more information, it's awakening what already exists within. As we connect the dots, like you can see Mithila, Ayodhya, Gurukul, Forest, there are a lot of chapters we have gone through. One of the most beautiful aspects of this closing chapter is how every event slowly begins connecting with one another. Starting from the childhood in Midila to marriage to Ayodhya, in Ayodhya, her exile, Mata's exile, the motherhood in forest, her loss, and that we are going to talk about the establishment of Gurukuls in the next slide. Nothing happened in isolation. Every experience is a preparation for Anasuya for the next stage of learning and understanding. Only now does she begin seeing the complete picture because she has traveled all through the circle. I just want all of you to understand this, that is it not our own lives also look like this? When we are going through the difficult moments, they seem some meaningless. They seem painful. But when we look back later over the years, we realize that every experience had a purpose. Life is like connecting those scattered dots, and the book exactly tells us the same. We understand life by looking backward always, looking into the past, but we can only live it by moving forward. So, this realization becomes the foundation of everything Anasuya learns in the remaining chapter. This is the most important essence of this last chapter. Rama's greatest vision is not to build up a great kingdom, is not to build up a great civilization. It is to bring up these gurukuls for the girls. This was an idea brought up from the Mithila because Janak Baba started way back. But that knowledge has to be transferred and established across the larger kingdoms, and that was brought up by the Rama's greatest vision. So Rama gathers the assembly to convince everybody to set up the gurukuls for girls, but no one agrees. Then he says, like, wait for a while, hold on. Let's take this moment of time and think about it. and they pause for a while. That's where, here in this chapter, this is a conversation is happening between Anasuya and her would-be husband, Ajit. They both were conversing this. In that conversation, so Ajit was telling his grandmother tales to Anasuya. So this is all part of that narration. So he says that though Mata lived in the forest, it's never like she's there. She's everywhere. In fact, people found her at all the places normally. People perceived Mata everywhere. So, in this Gurukul setup, also, when the discussions were happening, suddenly Mata Sita appears with the rest of the gurus. She was called upon by Sri Rama, to convince the assembly to set up the Gurukuls. So here we have to really take this important learnings where the major rishis and gurus, they come and speak about it. The first comes Rishi Vasistha. He says that without the education of Arundhati, we could have never received the gift of Kamadhenu, whose blessings nourished countless lives. And then came sage Atri Muni. He says that without the knowledge of Mata Anasuya, she could have never brought the sacred Mandakini river to the droughted lands. Then comes sage Agasya. He says without the sacred education of Lopamudra, she could have never protected the hermitages from the Rakshasas. Finally then Sri Ram comes and says, had not Mata Sita had been educated in the sacred texts, she might not have found the strength to endure the trials of Lanka. Then he then reminds assembly that while eternal values must always be preserved, yes, there is a parampara that Gurukuls are meant only for boys, but the tradition that no longer serves the society must not evolve. There has to be a change. Then comes Mata Sita and she raises to speak. Through the examples of these great women, she shows that educating a woman is never just about an individual perspective. No, it shapes of families, it shapes of communities, and it shapes future generations. That to me is Mata Sita's greatest contribution. Rama gave the vision, but Sita gave the society the conviction to accept it. So together they transformed the idea into a movement by laying the foundation for Gurukuls for girls, ensuring that wisdom would flow from one generation to another. So this is the most important takeaway from the lesson. This happened in Treta Yuga, not now. Even now girls are suffering to study. Look at the time where this vision was brought up into picture. So Mata was always remembered ever. Why? Is it because she's the queen? No. They remembered her because she never stopped serving. She visited ordinary families. She comforted people. She served food to everyone. She prayed for everyone. She protected them. She became a quiet part of everybody's life. She never looked for recognition because we never have heard Mata Sita in this way from Valmiki Ramayana or any other. She was never looked anywhere and she was never there looking for recognition. Her greatness came not from power but from compassion. This chapter, the final chapter, reminds us that true leadership begins with service. The greatest leaders are remembered not for the authority they held, but for the lives they have touched. So she became an invisible goddess to everybody. The ripple effect. Many people never know what Mata Sita was doing. But yet years later, everybody still remembers her. Why? Because goodness always leaves invisible ripples. Small acts of kindness continue influencing people long after we have forgotten them. Recognition is temporary, impact is permanent. History is often shaped by quiet people whose names never appear in the history books. That's a reality. And here comes another important aspect of this chapter. It's a symbol of living legacy, a silver pendant. This was not just an ornament. It's an entire lineage of love, I would call it. This pendant was gifted by Mata Sunaina to Sita Mata. And when Sita Mata was leaving Mithila, her mother gives her. It is not just a mother's gift. It carries blessings, it carries protection, it carries unconditional love. Years later, after Mata Sita comes from the exile to Ayodhya again, she gives this pendant, silver pendant, to Ajit's grandmother, who is Anasuya's would-be husband. Look at that interlink. When Mata was in Lanka, with all her internal struggles, you remember there were a group of women who used to pray at Lake Sarayu every day, and those prayers used to serve as energy and blessings to Mata Sita. And this Ajit's grandmother, she is the first woman who started that tradition of going to River Sarayu and praying for Mata Sita every single day, every single day. So when Mata comes back from the exile, as a token of gratitude, years later, she gives this. See, now imagine that this small act of love would continue touching another generation. Now it didn't stop at Sunaina Mata, or nor at Sita Mata, nor at Ajay's grandmother. It has traveled further generations. So this teaches us that true inheritance we leave behind is not wealth, it is love. So objects become sacred only when they carry blessings, gratitude, and memories across generations. Otherwise, it just becomes an ornament. So this pendant becomes a living symbol that love never ends. And then this is about the Soma. We heard a lot of stories, Soma telling, but Soma was not just a storyteller. She was a bridge. She was a bridge between what Mata Sita and Sri Ram wanted to convey to the society was conveyed by her. Perhaps that is a way her departure is very necessary, because only in the absence, when everything is there across, we don't understand the importance of anything. But when the departure happens in her absence, Anasuya truly began to understand everything Soma had been preparing her to see. Without Soma, these memories remain disconnected, isn't it? So, this is the role of a true teacher in life. A teacher does not simply fill our mind with knowledge. A teacher connects our soul with truth we had forgotten. Soma becomes a bridge connecting the past with the present. Through her stories, Anasuya begins discovering herself. And the most important lesson of the chapter we learned through Mata Sita and through Soma is service is spirituality. It is the understanding the true meaning of what is spirituality is all about. Meditation is important, prayer is important, we all do it. But but love becomes complete only when it becomes a service. So compassion must become action, helping another person, protecting an animal, standing beside someone during suffering. These are the forms of worship. Society changes not through speeches, but it changes through everyday acts of compassion is a greatest lesson Mata Sita and Soma has given us through this book. And the final realization, I'm again coming back to Anasuya, because this is Anasuya who is stating her entire story, reflecting and realizing her journey through the stories of storytelling of Soma about Mata Sita. So at the end of her final years, Anasuya again went and sat back on the river bank of Sarayu and started thinking, what I have done to this society? Have I helped anyone? No, this we all ask, am I doing anything which is really meant for the purpose of my life? Is that done or is not done? So I simply loved my husband. I simply loved my children. I simply loved the society. I simply loved the nature. What is that, Mata, I have done? She was sitting in a meditation and asking, and that's when Mata comes and replies her, that is the only thing I have asked you to do. Just love. That's the beautiful essence of this entire book, that the healing happens only through love. You know, so we all should know how to love the family, love the society, love the creation. Everything grows naturally from that love is the essence of this. And here comes the final, you know, the connecting dots again of Anasuya. We started with Meenakshi, who reincarnated as Anasuya. And Anasuya got so many lessons and memories through Soma and through connected stories and life lessons. Finally, she sat again in her old age when she had four daughters and she left, her husband was no more, and she was just sitting on a river bank and thinking, what is that is happening to me? Then she closed her eyes and a memory flashed her uh, dream suddenly. She was drowning through the waters, and she sees a man picking her up from the waves and rescuing her. And that flash of memory helps her to recollect her past life, that she herself is Meenakshi. The moment she opens the eyes, nothing appears, and even when she wanted to close her eyes and rethink she has seen, she won't be able to do anything. But she got that interlink, that Anasuya is none other than the Meenakshi. So she listens carefully and she sits down. Her breath gently moves in and out. She sits behind the river. Slowly, something extraordinary happens. They describe it in such a way that she breathes in, the breathes out, the waves keep going up and coming down, and the breath becomes softer, the waves become, gentler, the pauses become longer, and both gradually fade into the complete stillness. Means it's saying symbolically that the soul gently releases itself from the body, just as a river effortlessly merges into the vast ocean. There is no effort to be done, no effort to be made. Nothing is forced, nothing is lost. The body remains behind. Consciousness continues its eternal journey. This chapter beautifully reminds us that death is not an ending. It is a return from the limited self to the limitless whole. So, my greatest takeaways from this chapter. Well, so it is a story of every human searching for meaning. We all look for purpose of life. Here, Rama teaches us how to lead. Sita teaches us how to serve. Soma teaches us how to remember. Anasuya teaches us how to awaken. Together, they all remind us that a civilization is not built through power, it is built through education, through service, through values, through quiet acts of goodness, and above all, most importantly, through love. This is a final closing slide of my presentation for the untold story of Sita, last chapter. I would like to conclude with this final realization that really stayed with me for a quite longer time than I can believe. The same aspect when I was talking about this earlier. When Anasuya gently asked Mata, "What is that I have done?" Mata gently says, "All I have asked is only to love, and you have done it." To me, these words capture not essence of this entire book, but the very spirit of Ramayana. If we can educate with compassion, serve without seeking recognition, love without conditions, then each of us become a part of the building society that Rama envisioned, Sita nurtured, Soma inspired the future generations to remember. Thank you for listening to me.
I think we could not have a better closer than this. Brilliant.
Thank you, Neelam.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for starting, connecting, and ending it beautifully.
You luckily gave me the connecting dots. So well placed.
Actually, matlab, you were in the first, you were in the middle, and finally the end. So that was brilliantly. Okay,
Yeah.
guys, do we have some questions?
No questions, but those pictures.
Simple love.
Wow. Wow. Awesome it was. You took us to some other era only. And the way you narrate, oh my God, I stopped my camera because I was crying. I couldn't hold myself back. Amazing.
It was really deeply emotional, Soumya, seriously. Because this time I purposefully kept blank slides, only the images. I don't want any text on that. Because pata nahi, I felt like doing that
No,
this
it
way.
is nice. It is very nice that way only, ma'am. We are only looking and we connected with, and there is a one beautiful thing I missed out. Let me read that, okay? Why images are so important? Uh, I'll tell you. Wait, second. Some beautiful thing, Soma only says that, we have come down to like, few words, but the way uh, images and thoughts are expressed, words can never express that. I mean, perfectly apt. Like, the images that you showed, it was speaking another language only altogether. Oh my God. Beautiful one, yeah.
Thank you, Soumya. I was in a hurry. I was not well prepared in time.
Me neither, but you know.
Ma'am, please, next time also don't prepare it.
Yeah.
But this book needs more time, Neelam.
Yes.
I still feel as Soumya said, I didn't get out of it. Hmm.
Do that. Do that. Do that. However times you read, I mean, my book has notes on the edge every time. So I really can't keep this down without actually noting something down or highlighting things. So yeah, truly presented. Great, great, great. So anything to discuss further? Because this is overwhelming. Busy.
And then really thank you, Neelam, ma'am, because you are pulling me to do it. And then you all maybe she's a Tamil speaker, Parvin Sultana. She's talk about all the religious. Okay, even she's Muslim, she's talk about all the religious. I'm just fond of hearing it, but she always tell about the Ramayana. No, Sita did the mistake because Sita loved that deer. That's why the all things happen. She did narrated. But something is triggering me. But after reading this book, it's completely different for myself. So it's really great. And thank you so much, ma'am, for giving the opportunity.
Same goes in that chapter when this Ahilya's story is told. Why Ahilya turned into stone, right? I was strictly against, like, how can a sage put a curse on a lady, that too who he had been married and everything? How come Ram sent Sita into exile? How dare they? Like, it was like, how dare they? Now I know the real reason, and I really, I mean, for me, I never said, I always used to fight everybody. Ram was not Maryada Purushottam. Anybody
Oh,
who sends his wife
Yeah.
to exile cannot be a maid. And
Yeah.
we are calling him Maryada Purushottam. Now my mind is all blown.
yeah.
So it was such a
Ma'am,
beautiful
one more
thing.
thing. Actually, last night I texted sir. Sir, I now understand why you said you were jumping and dancing when you came to know about Ahilya. I had to read that line 2 to 3 times, because in the movies how they show Ram has stepped on the stone and that's how she revealed herself. No, here he says he touched her feet, then she revealed herself. I mean, how could they, write like that? I mean, what sense of mind they are in to write, in that way? I was so furious. So many times I was so furious, and the kind of happiness after reading that. I mean, the kind of misunderstanding and how people have manipulated. So stupid, I must say. How dare they write like that? I mean, yeah. So
I
good
think
has
this
to
book
read
should
and
be
feel,
must
man.
read for everybody.
Yes, yes,
That's
absolutely.
why my heart have a thought. I have to find that speaker address and then send her the book.
Yes, yes, please.
Because
Good,
they are only giving the lot of talks, and then there are lot of people it's admiring by herself, and then she's telling the another kind of story of Sita. Na, it's will be really reached very well, And then the simply prayer is enough. While reading it, the simply every day at least we have to keep for 10 minutes, and then we have to pray for our nature and around the people. How it is very very important. All those things we think what the prayer will do. Usually, I also thought I know what the prayer will do. What are the things I have to do? All those things, but how the prayer is important in our life, and then how we have to connect with our nature. We forgot our Asian, I mean, our cultures and all. We missed out because we don't know the meaning why we have to follow all those things we came out, but we have to find out, and then we have to guide our children's how it is very very important. All those things we have to do it. That's the thing.
Ma'am, if it would have been any other book, right? I don't know why I am feeling, too personal with this book. Because Dana Mariam, she herself has like lived these lives and it feels so personal, so heavy for me. I know I'm not at all
Trust me,
okay.
I
Maybe
really think that we should be somewhere there. Some servant who might be serving those two people. So probably that is why we are
ah,
reading this book. Otherwise,
maybe.
there was no point. So I
Absolutely.
was just thinking, can I be Soma? Can I be Anasuya? That kind of a thought was coming into my brain all the time. See, with Sitama, Soma and this girl comes. Other than that, two more ladies there. Okay, who left in between.
And
Can I be that one?
Hanuman is also there all the time with Sita Mata.
Hanuman
Maybe.
is he's a totally different genre. Okay, so being a servant, I was like, can I be that one? So I was like, might be that is why I'm reading this book. Because I usually fight with people whenever they say that Sita was exiled and Ram's Maryada Purushottam, I was like, I'll beat you with that. How can that be possible?
Correct. It's very sad truth. I don't know why so many yugas have carried this kind of false information. I still
Mm.
don't understand the purpose behind. It's very, very, it really affects so bad. And people take it totally in a different. Rama and Sita has all the people don't name their daughters as Sita. Do you know? You don't
Mm.
find any daughter with the name Sita because they think they all have the these things only. All custard. What do you call in English?
All the troubles that she
All
had
the
to go
troubles
through.
in life. And that's how the
Mm.
story is carried. Unfortunately,
I mean, she's so powerful, ma'am. Even the time that she was, departuring, she merged with the nature. How
correct.
beautiful they said. I mean, how they show, she was angry, she called her mother, and then she went into it. What nonsense, I mean, uh, you know, and this book has really, and actually, there is one thing that Anuswaya also says that, we will not be the same after, listening to the story, and we all will never be same.
Correct.
That thing happened. It,
Correct. So
and
true.
thanks to sir, thanks to you, ma'am, for initiating that. And I came across to read this book. Oh my God, such a pain has lifted off. Such a, weight has lifted off, literally. I'm so happy and so free now.
Ma'am, then order both the books, Order Rukmini and Dancing with Dakinis, because probably that is
Um,
continuing. So let's finish Dina Mariam's total thing, and that
yes.
will be brilliant.
Then the fourth one is travel through the times.
Travel
That
with
is
the
fourth,
times.
ma'am. That is for the travel through
Mhm.
time.
That would be brilliant. So that will be the next one after this.
So
So
what
we'll
are the books, ma'am?
cover Rukmini,
Rukmani,
then it is Dancing with the Dakinis,
Dancing to the Darkness. Okay.
and the last one would be my Journey Through Time.
Okay. So
Okay,
we will order these three books.
Mm.
one shot, and then we'll cover this up totally.
Oh, I don't have Dancing Through the Darkness. That I don't have, but I have the other two.
Mm, mm.
Right, right, right. So we'll finish them. So you okay now? The question is, do you want to go this way only, like 2, 3 chapters per week, or how do you prefer to do it? I
I
think we are going at a good pace.
I think we'll go one chapter per week, and we'll all read that chapter because it's a big book, 640 pages. It
Sounds
takes
good.
months. That's okay, but we'll imbibe it properly.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. And I'll come up with something different kind of a way to present it rather than just doing a presentation. I'll come
Hmm.
up with something different kind of a thing.
Okay. Let us know. We'll all do that.
Right, right, right. Let me come up with some ideas here.
Okay, great.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much,
Okay.
everybody. And I would request if you can share your slides. What I would want to do is I would want to club that slides together and put it as a complete review.
ठीक है. I will actually I have to search this first and third I have in one form. I'll look for the second set. I'll put them all
Right.
in one page and I'll
Because
give.
I'll club it in Canva and put it as a review in Facebook, the Facebook page.
Mm.
So I'll club every slide together. Did you
Okay.
see the presentations are 1 hour long?
Mm.
Right? Anybody who would want to see it might be not like they'll have to spend at least 10, 12 hours to
Mm.
go through everything. But just those slides would wind up within say around half an hour or so. So that
Yeah.
will cover up as a book review.
But today's my slides have no information.
Ma'am, those who
But with
want
the
to,
image
like the
itself,
last
we
slide
can
have
able to
everything.
understand.
Okay.
True that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So we'll wind up and see you on
Yeah.
11th now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
Thank you.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you
Thank you.
so
Bye bye.
much, ma'am. Bye bye.